kids, welcome back to Bible Explorers, another week from home and from church. Just a little bit of reminders before we get into some worship. Just remember to wash your hands, cough into your arms, stay safe, stay clean, sanitize as much as you can. But why don't we all get up and join us for some worship today?
First up, worship time with Miss Stephanie.
Hey kids, welcome back to worship. We're going to sing Love tonight.
L-O-V-E. Hey. Find a way to lend some help. Love your neighbor as yourself. Spend your time on someone else. Yeah, come on. Find a way to lend some help. Love your neighbor as yourself. Spend your time on someone else. L-O-V-E. God's love is like no other. L-O-V-E. Share it with one another. Come on, everyone. Reach out and love someone. L-O-V-E. We're gonna love each other. Yeah. Find a way to show some grace. Help your neighbor run the race. Put yourself in second place. Find a way to show some grace. Help your neighbor run the race. Put yourself in second place. L-O-V-E. God's love is like no other. L-O-V-E. Share it with one another. Come on, everyone. Reach out and love someone. L-O-V-E. We're gonna love each other. Yeah, God loved us from the very start, and I got the love in my beating heart. And spread that love all across the earth, and tell everybody what His love is worth. Come on, so let God hear the praise from us. Yeah, and love people like the Savior does. Hey. And you ain't never gonna be the same when you L-O-V-E in Jesus' name. Yeah. God's love is like no other. Hey, hey. We're gonna love each other. Reach out and love someone. L-O-V-E. We're gonna love each other. L-O-V-E. God's love is like no other. L-O-V-E. We're gonna love each other. Reach out and love someone. L-O-V-E. We're gonna love each other.
We're going to sing Follow Him.
Look up to where eagles fly. A rainbow splashed across the sky. A sign that God sustains our land. Mighty works all by His hand. Our God is so awesome in power. The Father forgives all our sin. The Son holds the whole world together. The Spirit is power within, so we will follow Him. Died for us to take our sin, conquered death and rose again. A sign that God redeems our lives. Jesus came to make us right. Our God is so awesome in power. The Father forgives all our sin. The Son holds the whole world together. The Spirit is power within, so we will follow Him. So we will follow Him.
is good. Wherever we go, from the brightest days to the darkest nights, God is good all the time. Oh, 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 God is good. Through the ice and snow to the vast unknown, everywhere we go, God is good. Through the trials we face, He will show the way. We will stand and say that God is good. Oh, 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 God is good. Oh, 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 the mountains high, through the valleys low, God is good. Wherever we go, from the brightest days to the darkest nights, God is good all the He is good through the ups and downs when life spins us around. Our God is good. When nothing goes our way and it's just not our day. Our God is good. Oh, 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 God is good. Oh, oh, the mountains high, through the valleys low, God is good. Wherever we go, from the brightest days to the darkest nights, God is good. The mountains high, through the valleys low, God is good. Wherever we go, from the brightest days to the darkest nights, God is good all the time. Oh, 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 God is good. Oh, God is good.
Now games with Mr. Hessler.
Hi everybody, this is Mr. Gesler again, and I have another idea for a game that we could do at home. So a couple weeks ago, Sammy, Andy, and I, we did with the little ball, we were juggling with our feet, and we were going like this without using our hands, right? It was pretty much soccer. But this time around, I want you guys to use a couple of supplies that you have at home. If you have balloons, like water balloons, you could use that. But I don't have any, so I'm gonna be creative, and if you don't have any water balloons, you could look for latex gloves. I'm pretty sure your parents do have some right now with what's going on, so ask them for permission if you could use latex gloves, and you're gonna fill them up with air, as so, and then just tie them up, right? So Karina already has one made for me. There you go, and that's what it's gonna look like. So you tie it up, make a little knot, and make a little ball right here. So you're gonna pretend to that could be a soccer ball, and let's give it a shot. See how this goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There you go. So you could also use your knees, all right? And if that's too easy, you could create another one. This is the left hand, and this would be the right hand. So if that's too easy, you could juggle 2 balls. That's even hard for me, but if you're really good at it, go for it. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's pretty hard. Let me try again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, it's difficult, but hey, if you can stick with 1, why not? I didn't count how many that was, but if you could do more than 10 and beat me, try it out at home and enjoy it. You could definitely play with your brother, sister, mom, and dad. You guys. Hey everybody, I'm Mr. Gesler. I haven't seen you guys in a while. Well, today I'm going to show you guys how to do one of the games. This is the games portion of the teaching that we're going to have. So, as you guys can see on the floor, I have set up right here a game called Tic-Tac-Toe. And I'm pretty sure you guys have played that, right? So, this is some of the stuff that you're going to need at home. So what I used was some strings. And me and my wife cut up strings to put it on the ground, tape it up a little bit, as you guys can see, the green strings. You guys could also use maybe some Scotch tape, have your parents help you out. If you guys don't have any of that stuff, maybe just roll up a t-shirt and just create the tic-tac-toe format. Now, what we're gonna use for X's and O's are plates. Me and my wife found some plates. These are circled, you already have the O for that. If you look at these plates, we marked it up with little X's on the plates with markers. So you could also do that. Another option that you could use if you don't have these kind of little plates are just some styrofoam plates. These might be a little harder because they don't weigh as much when you throw them. So the idea is to throw them onto the floor and create the three things that you got, you know, the three circles here or the three X's, so you guys know how to play, right? So right now we're gonna demonstrate a little game with me and Karina. So I'm gonna give her the X's and I'm gonna have the O's, and then we're gonna start playing. All right? So we'll show you guys a little demonstration on how to play. All right, good. So I'm gonna start off. I'm the O's, and I'm gonna throw it on the floor. That's quite not there. So the rules of the game is they got to be right in the square. If it's on the line, then it doesn't count. All right, Karina, go for it. That's way too far. So now, another rule that I forgot. You got to be at least 2 feet away from the little tic-tac-toe that you create on the floor. So I'm going to step back a little bit. I'm going to throw my plate. That one also landed right there onto the line, so it doesn't work. Go for it, Karina. That one's way too far. All right, cool. So my turn again. That's also on the line. Oh well. Go. That's way too far. I'm gonna throw another one. That's on the line. All right, go for it. That's also on the line. You can't even see the X. I'm gonna go again. There you go. I got one right there. I got my first circle. Go for it, Kari. That's way too far. Okay, I'm gonna throw another one. I got my second one. She's gonna throw another X. That's way too far. All right, so you guys get the gist. So I'm gonna pretend I have another plate. I don't have any more, but let's say I'm gonna throw another one. And it's right there on the corner. So that's 3. You guys remember the game? I got 1, 2, 3. So I beat Karina. There you go. So. Just to make it simple, you guys could play with your brother, your cousin, your sister, maybe your mom, your dad, your uncle. You need 2 people to play this, and that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoy the game. You guys could do it as many times as you want. I'll see you guys later.
Let's see what Miss Susan and Mr. Goss have planned for the lesson time.
That thing is heavy. Oh boy. Oh, you want to know what's in it? Well, it's all sorts of tools that I've collected over the years that I've been alive. Want to see? Okay. Yeah, I can open it. Let's see. Open this. There we go. There's a lot of important stuff in here. Woo! Wow. Hey, here's one. See this? That is a nice pry bar. You can do a lot with that. And let's see what else. That doesn't want to go in there. Okay, there we go. Oh, hammer. Gotta have a hammer. And that's a really good tool too. What else else is in here? Oh, screwdriver. Well, kind of a screwdriver. I hit it with 220 volts of electricity and kind of melted a hole in it right there. It's almost broken. Oof. Let's see what else. Oh, wrench. That's for my welding torch. And oh, I got a drill. Well, kind of. Doesn't turn anymore. It's broken. It's a bad tool. And let's see what else have I got in here. Oh, well, for when that drill doesn't work, I got this one. See, just hold this one. Well, it has a problem too. This part doesn't work. Can't get it to hold anything. Well, okay, so that's not a good tool either. But I got a lot of good stuff. I even have a repair kit in here. You know, all of us carry around a lot of stuff that we have with us. Now, maybe you don't carry it around in a duffel bag like this, but you know what we do carry around? We carry a lot of things in our heart and on our head that tell us how to act. Now, we spend our whole lives learning those things, don't we? Just like it's taken me most of my life to collect this stuff. Like, that's my great-grandfather's. That's probably why I don't want to throw it out, even though it's broken. But what about the things in our heart? Are some of those broken too? What if we're out and someone comes along and wants to rob us? Do we want to get angry and mad and try and kill him? What does God say about that? You know, he says love your neighbor as yourself. He doesn't say love your neighbor as yourself if the neighbor is nice. Even if the neighbor is mean and angry and horrible, we're supposed to love them. That's kind of hard though. What if we are going to school and there's a bully there? Are we supposed to get mad at them? No. What if someone comes over and wants to borrow one of your tools? And you know, I had a friend a while back who wanted to borrow this one. This is an expensive tool. It doesn't look like it, but it is. I don't know. Should I let him borrow it? He might hurt it. He might break it. He might lose it. What is that, though, if I'm not loaning him my tools? It's selfishness, isn't it? Is that a tool that God wants us to have in our hearts? Selfishness? No. Whose tool is this really? This is really God's tool. I should be willing to loan it and share it with people. Now, okay, so we shouldn't be selfish. We shouldn't be angry or hateful. Oh, but you know what? I am just the best at everything. Is that true? Well, not really. And what is that? That's pride, isn't it? Uh-oh. That's another bad tool. Should I be prideful? No. Now, there are some things I'm good at, but there's a lot of things I'm not good at either. So, should I have pride about it? No. So I shouldn't be selfish, and I shouldn't be... Oh, boy, there's a lot of things I shouldn't be, but how am I going to get to where I should be? I have another tool down here. Repair kit. This one is what repairs all the bad tools in my heart, isn't it? But how does it work? Well, each day I spend some time reading it. And then I think, now what is he trying to say? And is there something I can learn from this? Something in my life that needs to change? Oh yeah. That's how I change these things. That's how I get rid of the bad tools. Anger, hate, fear, selfishness, prideful. And how I get the good tools. The good tools. Oh, the fruit of the Spirit. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, self-control, gentleness. I get those good tools in my heart when I keep reading this and studying it every day. I hope you guys are studying it every day, not just when we're teaching you, but every day. Well, I think Miss Susan has something to share with you. Miss Susan, take it away.
Thanks, Mr. Goss. Hey, it's Miss Susan again. I'm excited to be here like I am every week. Right now, what we're going to start is a series of 4 lessons, and it's going to be what do we do when trouble comes? Because right now, it's a really weird time, right? We're not leaving our houses. We're doing these lessons on video, and it's weird. We just don't know what to do, and it's hard when we can't see our Bible Explorer teachers or our pastors, and we have our moms and dads, but we're not seeing people in person. So what do we do when trouble comes? The first one, today what we're going to talk about is Jesus understands your troubles, okay? And we're going to go to Hebrews, the book of Hebrews, which is in the New Testament, chapter 4, and I'm going to start on verse 14, and it says, therefore, because we have a great high priest, who passed through heaven, who is Jesus, the Son of God, let us hold fast our confession. So therefore, because we have a great high priest who passed through heaven, who is Jesus, the Son of God, let's hold fast our confession. Now, you might be wondering, what's a high priest, right? Because we have pastors in our churches. Well, a high priest, back in the times of the Israelites, when they had the Ark of the Covenant and the tabernacle, the high priest is the one that could go in there and give sacrifices on our behalf. So if we sinned, that was considered the high priest's job. And he would go in and do that. Well, because once Jesus finally came and he was sacrificed, we didn't need to do all those anymore. So he was the great high priest. Now that's what we're talking about now. To go on to verse 4:15 is going to be Mr. Goss.
Thank you, Miss Susan. Now that was Hebrews chapter 4, verse 14. Well, let's see what chapter 4, verse 15 says. For we do not have a high priest who is unable to sympathize with our weaknesses, but one who in every respect has been tempted as we are, yet without sin. So what is that saying to us? Well, Jesus is our high priest. He's the one that's before God, who is acting like a lawyer, helping us before God, reminding God that we're his chosen people. And do you think it helps that he knows what we go through? When he was here on earth, he was tempted. Remember, right after he was baptized, he went out in the wilderness for 40 days and fasted for 40 days without eating. And then Satan tempted him, came to him and tried to get him to sin. And he knows what that temptation is like in our lives. Now, he didn't do it because he's God, but he understands it. He understands how strong that temptation is in our hearts. And he's standing there before God, reminding God how bad that was for him and how much we suffer with temptation. Now, not only is he there before God, helping him, talking to him, defending us, but we can pray to him and ask for his help when we're tempted. Do you think he loves us enough to help us get through these temptations that we have? He wants us to have the attributes that God has. He wants us to be like him. And he's willing to help us when we pray. So when you're tempted, ask God for help. He may take the temptation away. He may give you the strength to resist it. He will always forgive you if you fail.
Thanks, Mr. Goss. All right, let's go for the third part of the lesson. Verse 4:16. It says, "Therefore, let us draw near with confidence to the throne of grace, so that we may receive mercy and find grace to help in the time of need." So what does that mean? Let us draw near in confidence. Let us draw near knowing that he's there. You know, if you had to go to White House, the President of the United States, and you just walk right up there and said, "Hey, I'm here to talk to you. Do you think he would talk to us?" Probably not. We probably wouldn't even make it past the gates. But with God, he is there. Jesus is there for us. We can boldly go right up to him at any time. He is there for us. And the second part of it is that we can go right to his throne of grace so that we may receive mercy and grace. So let me talk to you about the throne of grace and what that is. So there was the holiest of holy seats, right? In that tabernacle. It's kind of like a throne of grace. Jesus is up there waiting for us right on that throne of grace that we can approach for mercy and grace. What does that mean? Mercy means that you did something wrong and you're not going to get the punishment you deserve, right? Okay? You deserve to be punished in a certain way, but we're not going to do that. So we have mercy. Grace is when you get something you don't deserve. Grace is having Jesus right there, ready for us to boldly walk up to him on the throne of grace at any time, even though we're all sinners and we don't deserve that. So when there's troubles like there is right now, you go confidently up to the throne of grace, and Jesus is there for you, and he understands you. Because we have him, and he's been in heaven, and he's gone through everything, he is there for us. So to sum up our lesson, let's go back to Mr. Goss. Mr. Goss?
To help you remember the difference between grace and mercy, I put in this little graphic. So you notice grace starts with a G, and so does God, and so does good, and so does gift. So grace is God's good gifts to those of us who do not deserve them.
Now, in the verse she just read, it talked about confidently drawing near. You know what that means? It means with boldness. Because we know that God is for us and that Jesus is with us. So, if you have some problem in your life and your Father is there waiting for you, do you run up and ask him for help? Are you like, oh, maybe he won't help me. I don't know if I should do that. I don't want to talk to my dad about it. No, if you have a loving Father, you should be able to run up and ask him, Dad, I need help. I got a problem. Please help me. And you know what a loving Father does? Oh yes, son, I am happy to help. That's the way we should approach God. When we have a problem, go to him and ask for help. And then we can learn in our hearts and put the tools in our hearts that he wants us to have. the love, the joy, peace, patience, and so on. And remember, even when we fail, who's already paid the price for that failure? Jesus. He took care of that for us. Does that mean we should keep failing? No, no. We should try to do better. But when we do fail, we don't have to be scared. He's already forgiven us. Well, I will talk to you probably next week, Lord willing. Good night.
We hope you had a great time at Bible Explorers. See you all next week